day, and welcome to 5 Minutes with Rahila. My name is Rahila and I am your host in this particular program. In case you haven't watched the previous episode, do well to do so on her Facebook page at Rahila Johanna Bauer. Today, we will be taking the novel Painful Regret by Rahila Johanna Bauer, Act 4, Scene 2. And here I go. The Court of Justice, full of lawyers, reporters, jurymen, Mr. Stephen and his family, Jibrin, Raymond, Calvin were also present, and few of Mark's neighbors to support him. Mazi Okoro and few of his friends that are eagerly waiting to share in Mazi and Madu national cake. Amidst the clamor and heated discussion and last-minute consultation going on in the court, the judge enters.
Order! Court!
Everybody rise until the judge takes his seat.
Call the first case. Case number 1. Mark John versus Mazi and Madu.
A policeman lead the accused into the dock and then stand at his side. Then the registrar reads the charges.
That you, Mazi and Madu, on 20th day of March 2011, at about 12 o'clock p.m., in late Mr. John's house, sent his son parking and converted his property to your name, and at the same time threatened to kill him and his friends if he attempt to stop you. Guilty or not guilty?
Ms. Martins Kings, counsel for the defense, stood up in a white wig and said,
Not guilty.
What are the facts of the case?
Counsel to the prosecution, Anthony Joshua, a smart elderly gentleman in a worn-out wig, rises and bows to the judge.
Your Lordship and members of the jury, the fact are this: Mr. Mark John lost his parents in a car accident a few months back and was supposed to be taken care of by his uncle, Mazi Madu, who happens to be his father's elder brother. Instead, Mazi Madu sent the boys packing from his house and locked every property of his parents. That wasn't enough. He attempted to beat up a neighbor of Mr. Mark who tried to intervene. He also threatened to kill Mark and anybody that comes between him and the property. Those are the facts of the case, my lord. With your permission, I shall now call 2 witnesses to confirm this fact. I call the first prosecution witness, Mr. James.
Mr. James goes into the witness box. The clerk to the court comes to the front of the witness box and hands him a Bible. The clerk to the court said,
Repeat after me. Take the Bible in your hands. I swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. What is your name? James Clement. Occupation? Pharmacist. Can you tell the court what happened on 20th March 2011? I was in my house around 12 o'clock p.m. when I heard a familiar voice crying and pleading. I ignored at first, but the pleading was becoming persistent. I decided to check in order to see what was happening. On getting out of my house, I saw my late neighbor's son, Mark, in tears, and an elderly man with some rugged boys behind him, closing the gate to the house. I observed that Mark's luggages were thrown out, and I decided to ask what was happening. Did they respond to you when you asked? Mark did not, but the elderly man did. And what did he say? He said, and I quote, "Young man, go to your house and mind your business." Impressive. Then what happened next? I persisted and made mention of what he was doing was inhuman. What was his reaction then? He asked the boys to beat me up.
Side talks in court and lots of murmuring.
Order, order. What did you do then? I ran to my house. Can you recognize this elderly man? Mark told me he was his uncle.
Miss Martins jumping up.
So you don't know the man you are accusing after all? From your statement, you told the court that Mark did not answer you. Who then told you that this man was the man you saw, or rather his uncle?
Joshua jumping to his feet.
Objection, my lord. The lawyer to the accused is putting words in my witness mouth. Objection, my lord. You may answer the question. After Master Madu responds that I should mind my own business, I went over to Mark and asked him who the man was, and he told me it was his uncle.
Nancy sits down. Joshua rising.
Thank you. James, you may go.
James leave. The second prosecution witness. Mark goes into the witness box. The clerk to the court comes to the front of the witness box and hand him a Bible. Thank you for staying with us to this part of the episode for today. We will continue tomorrow by this hour, same time. Remain blessed and God bless you. I still remain Rahila.